Hi YouTube. How you doing? Thought I'd show you my teeth. Kendra, I have teeth. I had to have surgery, take one out. I had a gold tooth from a broken jaw, but I ended up having my wisdom tooth and two more that got cracked when I was 17. So if you wonder if I have teeth, yes, all of my teeth except for that accident and the surgery there. And I can't have implants. I'm allergic. I had a gold tooth in there, and I have it in my jewelry box because they had to take it out because I'm allergic to gold and all the stuff they make teeth out of. And for anybody, now I unblocked somebody, but I'm not open for scrutiny over here. So, and um, I I don't use people's videos. I don't make videos about people typically unless they're doing something to me first. And I'm leaving it at that. Now, if you have any questions about how I'm fighting the Illuminati and what I do and what I've been doing all my life, to the person that wondered how deep I am into things, you try being adopted, not the blood, but adopted by the Masons when you're a Christian, and tell me you would have a walk in the park. So, you can take your doubtful heart somewhere else in that case. So I'll leave it at that. I got a couple things I wrote down that I thought were pretty interesting. That Jesus said, I should know fully as I am fully known. So, like, he'll know all of us when we know him. You see, that's how I take it. And what's done in the dark will be brought into the light. Yes, that's exactly. I call it the fake light confronting the real light because you just pretend to be nice. If you actually came into my home, you would feel at peace and I would comfort you automatically. There's not a vile thing within myself unless I get pissed off. So, um, now what my topic is, like the main one here, I wonder, well, I know from the white papers I read, but whatever, I'll just say if. What if Satan was born when Jesus died within man, a man or them men? There's just food for thought, something to think about anyway, So, yeah. Just a second. Oh, funny. Okay. I just pulled out on my other side of paper I had written down. This is what I wrote down that I just read you. These ones. So then I flip it over and I had Babylon versus English kind of slash. And then I wrote light, set on fire, kindle, ignite, illuminate. Something that um, clarifies view. So something that clarifies our view. The slang for um, light is manipulate someone's psychologically with their intention, making him/her question their own sanity, drive a person crazy, so that they don't, so that they doubt their memory and perception. So that is a tactic that the Illuminati uses. I went through that on another video, but yeah, that's their meaning of the word light when you go back to Aramaic, which is pre-Babylonian. The Syrian language. That's why they want to kill the Syrians. That the Aramaic and the languages that Jesus actually spoke. They took our history from us, they took our language from us. I'm serious. I am very serious. That's what I'm doing out here. Every time I run across something, recall something, or whatever, that's all I'm doing. That's all I care about. Who I like and who I don't like. I mean, if I like somebody a little bit and don't dislike them enough to talk smack about them, then I'm leaving them alone. I've actually, people that were mentioned to me, I don't say nothing about this, I don't say nothing about that. You're absolutely wrong. While things are happening, I'm always saying something to that person when there's an issue, and I have. So between me and that person, I always say something. So, um, yeah. And I don't like, here's a way to put it. Like if I was alcoholic, which I'm not, I don't drink. Maybe something, it's been a few years since eggnog on Christmas, but I don't know. I put brandy in it if I do. And then I like it and I get too full and then I'll have to just eat. So you got to have it like right before supper. So not sure if I'm going to or not. But I've gone like 10 years before that. And same with my smoke. I'm not a constant through my life. I've gone like 10 years, 8 years, these things in my life to do things I had to do, you know, not just because I didn't have it, you know, to actually get jobs I had to, you know, make my life go around. So the best way I could. So, let's see, what was I thinking? Isn't that weird though that the slang for light would be to manipulate somebody psychologically with intent on making them question themselves, basically? And set on fire is another adjective of light, to kindle, ignite, illuminate, something that clarifies view. Yeah, that would be me. What I'm doing anyway. I think everybody's doing their own thing, and um, it's really not a matter of coming together. I want to make friends, but if you're not my kind of friend, I don't want to make you my friend. So, anyway, let's see. I'll get back on track perhaps, or maybe go somewhere else. My mind's pretty busy today, but yeah, whatever. Hope everybody had a good day. I did. I finished the door on my chicken's house, so um I actually put a thick plastic over it so she can go in and out and the light can come in. I thought about a solid door, but it's in the barn anyway, so I want her to feel like she's got a little bit of light coming on in the morning and she can go out. And I put a rubber on her floor today. She's got a raised hardwood floor, and I put rubber on the roof and rubber on the floor. And then I might put some bales up on top to insulate it. I'm still thinking, debating that. So, but she's got her hutch in there, and she's got another place with her food. It's a old bunny cage I use for her. So my stray chicken, had her almost a year now. She just came in the winter, starving and dehydrated, and started taking care of her, and she's the coolest little thing. So anyway, let me see. Yeah, I've watched a lot of people come against a lot of other people, and I don't know what to tell you about that. That's a sad thing, you know, making videos. videos about people. Hopefully I'm making videos about what I just did. That's my thing, you know, digging into language, a linguist, in history, in biology. Oh, like for instance, here's something. Did you know that two of the blood cells out of the three, which is a trinity within our cells, are called leukocytes and phagocytes? That's an interesting thing. And then there's a rod in there, which I call the God rod or the rod of God. I'll be explaining all that coming up soonly here. Like I told my regular friends, subs, I'm going to be setting up my desk this coming week. I just got my outside stuff done. So I said when the snow flies, but we haven't had much, and it's been like 40 degrees and 30, upper 30s. So we've been pretty lucky. So in the northern hemisphere, at least in Minnesota here. I don't know, like I just unblocked a Canadian. Don't know. I heard you had some bad weather, cold, at least from somebody in Montreal. But yeah, and what a pretty city that is. I love it. I love Thunder Bay. I'm gonna get land as close as I can get to Thunder Bay, and see if I can get dual citizenship. So, which is a possibility with my heritage. So yeah, we'll see. But if not, maybe just like be able to go over and shop there. I just love that city. It's so pretty. I like Grand Portage. That's like my favorite area. Just a little north of there, probably northeast, and they still have some homestead land up in there. So if I went up and built, and then my taxes would be like homestead taxes would be a lot cheaper. So, which we don't pay a lot in taxes anyway where we live. We live in one of the poorest counties. As far as we don't have a lot of people, so um, you know, which our taxes are down because of that reason. If you see what I mean, our roads don't need as much maintenance, and there aren't as many kids in the schools, and that type of thing makes it a little less hectic than a lot of people have it. So, yeah, it could be worse. It's like our taxes are less than some people pay for rent, probably even half of what, well, like a lot of people, it's about what people might pay for a nice apartment a month, you know? So that's pretty good. Yeah, I am going to be getting a microphone. I just got to get in town. I got to get some cards from my granddaughters and get them out. Or I should say, granddaughter and her brother, and maybe the other ones if I get their address. I know where they live. I would just like them to tell me the address. But I'll just say it like it is. I got accused of not getting along with my sons or not communicating. My youngest calls quite often, but I always say I'm not busy. It depends on how he's feeling if I talk to him. Both my sons do speedballs, heroin, and then what's the other? Uh, they go up and down, and they drink too. So I just say no, you know. And I had to literally kick them both out of my home more than once. So to anybody that thinks that I'm not close to my sons and they don't love me and I don't love them, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Satan attacks my children especially hard because I will not back down. The only thing I do is tell you how to protect yourself, give you words that they will use against you, teach you the opposite in language and how people use their words against you. And that is exactly in everything all I do. And I do pray before I get on here. And I try to pray before I write, but that's not always possible. But I mind my words with God in my heart as best as this human being can do, you know. So if you really do not think I'm a good, clean, moral, upstanding woman, then you really don't belong here and you are low. So please don't be low around me. Just don't do that. So, I mean, just because, and I'm going to tell it like it is, Jeffro, I went over to your page. I was going to unblock you and I seen a bunch of crap. And then I said, well, maybe we can talk on, if you want to talk, we'll talk on message. And then I went back and I thought, no, I'll unblock them. And, but I saw a lot of crap, you know, do I have teeth? And I mean, I don't know you, Kendra. I don't know if you're overweight or you don't feel good about yourself or whatever, but almost 61, I'm very pleased with my appearance and my strength for all I've been through. And I hope you feel as good as I do at my age and can actually not call you the name Satan would want me to call you. So, oh yeah, I had a whole bunch piled up and I thought, no, I'm not going to go there. It is, after all, a female, I do believe. So if I don't like somebody, I just keep my mouth shut. If you come over here, you don't like me. If you come over here and I don't like you, perhaps I'll say something, it'll be over, and I will not carry it on. So, like I say, if you differ and you see something different in anybody I like and you don't like them for whatever reason, maybe I heard something or saw something different, and perhaps you could pray on that subject with me and for me and for the people involved. That's the best thing we can do. Pray for the darkness to become light. It's as simple as that. But that is key. That's the key. What you think? Anybody ever prayed for Satan to love God again? Think about it. Huh? Are you related to it? Is God? Perhaps that's the key. Let's see, if you pray for the big dog and it's nasty, what happens to the little ones? That's always been my philosophy. God's got an injured kid, a real fucked up one, and it needs help. And it's got kids, for Christ's sake. So what do we do? You know? Seriously, there were Masons undercover that jeopardized their life and actually did get all kinds of things happened to them towards the end when they were more exposed. And that's why a lot of this so called esoteric, which I kind of almost hate the word, is just the spreading of the knowledge of Satanism that was kept from Christ's kids for generations. This is the seventh generation of their bull crap and the last one. It's like God said, I'll give you 7 generations. That would be the grandfather, the son, and the grandson, and the women. And we'll do this 7 times. On that 7th time, them kids, Christ is going to rise in his people, and the same with that other blood. And the Christ kids are going to say, look, this is the way it is, and time's up, like it or not, and they're fighting against that because they want to keep doing their dirty little deeds. It's like a spoiled brat. It wants its way, and it'll scream, and it'll throw fits, and even say, I hate you, or whatever, when it doesn't get its way, or like a 3-year-old. You know what I'm saying? You go, or I don't like you, that type of attitude. Or I'm not liking this, well, that's nice. I don't like it either. That'd be my response. I'm one, like, I used to tell them until they got a little older, but I'd have them meditate. I'd sit them on the couch and tell them it was meditation time. If they didn't want to do exercises with me, they could just sit and meditate. Turn off the TV and just have them sit and think and calm down, because they needed to calm down. They went through flipping hell. So when I was able to give them peace and quiet, I gave it to them as much as I could. Walks in the woods and fishing, swimming, and bonfires, and whatever I could do to make things life normal, give them a routine, that type of thing that they desperately needed. So, and still desperately need, if you're watching Sons. And I know some of my other family members watch, and my sister can vouch for that. They're good, they're attacked, and we're all praying for them. So really, I'm not, all I can say is shame on the people that have come after me with rudeness and vileness. So I'm going to do the same at you. So enjoy yourself, I guess. Reminds me why I really hated high school. Anybody else really hate school? I enjoyed college, but I really hated elementary and junior high. Junior high mostly was just ignorant. I couldn't freaking stand the stupid kid. I was used to talking to adults. So, really. Or I guess I felt more comfortable because they had more to say. They were more intelligent. People that actually had a drive for understanding how everything works in the world. That's kind of how I am. Like even wanting to know what made the pistons going up and down with that crankshaft inside there and that motor and all these things. I wanted to know how to make sourdough bread from starter, so I got a starter going, everything. I just wanted to know how to do and how everything worked. Why not? You know, I don't know that I'd ever remember it all, but I sure want to know things. So that's really who I am. I do like to learn, but I really am sick of reading. I've read so much in my life, literally libraries full of well, when I was 12, I was fortunate to when I was in sixth grade to be able to help our librarian, and I helped her do the Dewey Decimal System, which was before computers. We had boxes full of cards that were all alphabetized and categorized, and I helped her redo all the cards on every single book in that library. So I got to read like everything. And then I'd go to like Minneapolis Public Library, and it was called Anoka Hennepin Big Library, another one, and in my church, our library that we had, and then what the Masons had, all that information, and every church I could go in, every different kind of religion, and plus studying them in oracles, so I know could make a decision on what I actually wanted to do in my life and why. And yes, every major religion is nothing but a scam. So some people may argue that, but um, I happen to be a person that have turned atheists into Christians and or lovers of God, whatever, and a Muslim into a Christian, and so, but she was a tough cookie. Sorry, Linda, I love you. I know she watches me too. I do love you. She's an awesome lady. Been a while now. I've known her for years now, so knowing of her and trust her as a friend, that's a big deal. You know, it's kind of cool. She has two sons too, but she's younger, so it's like she's going through things I went through. Oh, like over 20 years ago. It's like poor lady. So, oh no, she's got two beautiful little boys. So, but when people say things, and it's a little bit off, and I pointed out, I'm not making no excuses for that. People's language it's very important. You're darn right. The way you say something is the way it was said. And that's just the way that is. So, be like if my kids asked me, do you love me, Mom? Of course, they wouldn't have to ask. And I'd say, of course I love you. Do you like me, Mom? Not at this moment. Tiny bit, maybe. You know. And I'm starkly honest like that with everybody. I don't pretend about anything. I never could. I really never could. But before any man comes against me, I want to tell you something. Um, I've had very few men. I thought only one, but and then I did have a friend, Gary Peppinger, when I was a young woman that defended me and my honor. But very few men in this world do that type of thing for another human being. And I don't mean physically. I just mean emotionally or through friendship and kindness. But my friend Gary, he was willing to get his ass cremated maybe not right away, but eventually to stick up for me. Um, so before any man comes against me, you just keep these words in mind. No man has ever stood up for me, and I will stand up for myself because Satan is my biggest adversary and he's using you against me. So you just enjoy yourself if that's who you are. And male or female, if you enjoy putting a little more pain on my heart that's been through more than you would want to go through because of the words I'm trying to get through to everybody and help the situation so people recognize who is who, you know, and I pray for that. And when my heart is eased with questions that I ask God, I hope you can say the same thing because I pray about it and I ask Him. If you don't ask Him, you really don't have a right to speak, you see? So it's like I told Satan, um, if I want to hear it, I'd rather die than lie. Just say those words. That is my life motto. It's not a bad prayer. Like, please, Jesus Christ, don't ever let me be a liar. I want to hear somebody that called me a gender say those words. Say, I would rather die than lie. And I will say, I would rather lose my soul than be a liar or change my body from the woman I was born, the girl I was born. My birth certificate said baby girl because I was adopted. I didn't have a name right away. But let's pour some more salt in that wound. Ha, Satan, baby. And I do mean the baby Satan. So, that one. So, yeah, keep pouring that salt in that wound, people. Show yourselves. Or not would be preferable. I know who I like and don't like and why. So it's about as simple as that, isn't it? So if you're over here thinking you're going to stress me out first, I hardly ever sleep. I've never been on a real true schedule in my life because that's just the way Satan wants it. So what the fuck ever. This, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as I die, I'm gonna be happy. you know, happier, you know. So anything you do is just more the same of what I always have. So it doesn't matter. There's only like a certain level of energy that's evil that can be used. And so if you're the one doing that on that day to me, it doesn't matter because you're the same tool being used directed at me anyway. So I see that, and that's who you're portraying. So that is why I like that word. Robin used it, and Harold Camping used it. Tiptified made a video down there about it. But if you don't know me well, go back to my very first video, and it'll tell you my I was crying and screaming. I had broken shoulder and broken toes before that. So for a straight year, I didn't sleep. About like a year ago, I was really injured. But go back to my first video, and you will see I would call it hatred for the people that want to kill all of Jesus Christ's kids. So, yeah, I was pissed. Still am, but I'm keeping it under control. Better. So if you think I'm any part of that or make any hand signals, I don't care about colors. I do it out of insult to them. If I do anything that's brass, and any hand signals I ever make is like or usually like that, or and that's about the only symbols I ever make, just so you know. Unless I'm actually being a pissant towards Satan and saying something smart assy. So that's the way I am, just in case you didn't know. you know. Well, everybody, I do love you, and don't forget to pray about your issues. Get somebody you feel like it's your enemy for a reason, and I think somebody isn't your enemy. Well, please pray about that. Who wants to make money out here? I'm not out here wanting to make money. I have family I'm talking to, I have friends I'm talking to, and telling them things that I remember or things that I think of or run across. And it could be a news thing, could be the weather. I'm just communicating with anything good I can come up with or anything bad you need to know. Anything beyond that's your problem. So I don't play them games. I'm not playing at all. I just, you know what? Even when I did all my sports and everything, I just don't play it. You know, and I have more dignity and honor than anybody you actually know. So just keep that in mind. Thank you for joining me, everybody. I mean, I am fortunate to meet people that are like minded and really do care. I still want to hear it if you haven't said it. I've gotten 3 people to say it. Say my motto, just say it. Say I'd rather die than lie. Ask that jerk in Linwood. Say, would you say like Barb says? Would you say you'd rather lose your soul? Would you say you'd rather die than be a liar? I want to hear it. My battery's full. Sorry, people. Okay, I'll be back. Thank you for joining me. Peace. I love you.